Hi, everyone. Welcome to this very special edition of The Defense Never Rest. I'm Megan with Melissa.
Hello.
Hi.
How are you?
Great. Today is different and special because we are at the Claims Exchange conference in Philly. And we did something similar last year at another conference, and it just worked so well to have this podcast booth and pull people in for shorter little episodes and just get like a lot of different guests at once. So I'm really excited to do it again today.
And it's fun because you never know who you're going to talk to.
Right.
Like we don't know anybody who's going to be coming on the show today. It's all just folks who are attending the conference. So it's going to be interesting to just figure out their stories and what they're doing and how they got there, because strangers always have the best stories.
Yeah. And like they don't totally expect us to be here. So they're not like planning to sit down for a podcast. And I kind of like to keep it authentic and, keep it easy and simple and and just have just conversations. So let's get started.
Welcome to The Defense Never Rests with Morgan Akins, your monthly dose of uncommon sense about all things legal and some that are not.
Morning, Deborah. How are you?
I'm great, Megan. How are you?
Thank you so much for sitting down and talking to me on The Defense Never Rests today.
It's absolutely my pleasure.
Now, I need to share this for everyone listening. Someone had sent you down, like, oh, there's a podcast down there. And then you saw me, you're like, oh, wait, it's your podcast.
I was thrilled. I've been watching it and enjoying it. So I'm really comfortable talking with you.
Oh, good. Well, so we're here at the Claims Exchange. We're having a podcast, I guess, couch area. And I'm just pulling people in to just chat with me for a few minutes about, you and all things claims and defense and, all the things that we love to talk about.
My favorite topics.
So, I mean, I've known you for some time, but people listening don't know you. So why don't you tell me and tell them a little bit about you? Like, how did you get into, you're at Comcast, but how did you get into the world of claims?
I had been working in a completely different field, and I was looking to make a change, and it was so long ago, it was 1990, that I saw an ad in the newspaper, and it was from Travelers Insurance. They were looking for claim representatives, and really what prompted me to apply, I knew nothing about the field, was that the office was right across the street from my apartment, and my car was unreliable.
That's
so
a good reason.
I thought, I'll do this until I figure out what I want to do. And then I found out this is what I want to do. I loved it from the very first day. Someone said to me, you need to be nosy to be successful at claims. I think you need to be curious, and I am.
Yeah, you're both
and I loved the investigation part. I kind of loved that every claim was a little personal drama for somebody, and that I had a role in it, and could maybe make some of that drama smooth out and make things better for people.
Yeah. And throughout your career, though, how have you noticed things changed and evolved?
I think things have changed for the better. When I was starting out, we kept our claim files on paper. And one of the things that I was judged on was penmanship. And that's an extreme example of how things have changed. I mean, that really was part of everybody's evaluation, because we all know if it's not documented in the claim file, it didn't happen. But back then, if you couldn't read what was documented in the claim file, it didn't happen. And the way claims management has evolved, we've become much more sophisticated professional practitioners of our trade. It's no longer about our penmanship. It's no longer about box checking. It really is about using our experience and our intellect to come up with resolution plans. And I think that where in the 1990s when I started, it was a profession that didn't get a lot of respect. I think that has really changed, and that people understand what a vital role claims management professionals and resolution specialists play in resolving problems for policyholders.
So one thing that comes up a lot on this podcast, though, is that there is a real need to get younger people into claims, because we have, this generation that is nearing retirement, and there's going to be this big lack of this hole that you need people. So, in your eyes, like, how do we, entice the younger group to see the allure of, claims and insurance, and that it's not boring?
I've been asking that question for most of the second half of my career. One thing that has helped is that the phrase risk management used to be very obscure. And I would say within the last 10 years, people understand more about risk management. And risk management is a concept that's been incorporated into a lot of professional disciplines. We need to get people who are interested in risk management interested in the claim side. If I could tell the world of people who's considering this field, the tremendous variety of ways that you can be a claims manager. If I could tell my personal story about falling into an office because it was conveniently located and the trajectory of my career now where I manage a claims program for a Fortune 50 company, and it's fascinating. I have not had in my 30-some year career, I haven't had more than two, I won't say I won't have any, but maybe I haven't had more than 5 days where I wasn't excited to go to work and see what was next. It's interesting. It's varied. You get to, you really get to use your intellect and your strategy and bring all of your professional skills to the table in a way that is never boring. And another, just a very practical way to entice people is to say that for my entire, I would say for the last 10 years, we've been talking about a talent gap. There are so many opportunities in this industry because people my age are aging out of it, let's say, that you'll always have, I think, a place to go. And if you don't love where you are in the field of claims management, there are so many opportunities to move into new areas. I think the potential is unlimited for career advancement, for finding the niche that fascinates you and speaks to you.
And upward mobility.
Absolutely.
I mean, there's not really a ceiling.
No.
It's just the upward mobility is amazing. So one last, well, I can't say one last thing. I might have two more things, but obviously in your role, you work with and partner with Counsel.
Yes.
Good and bad. So
mostly good, mostly good.
But I do have a lot of attorneys who tune into this podcast, and they're always looking to hear, what can we be doing better? So what are some things that you see that, really, I don't want to say, like, rub you the wrong way, like practices of counsel that you're like, I can't stand when they do this?
So, okay, I have a couple of answers to that. One is, don't surprise me before mediation or a trial. I'd like to know, I'd like to know at every stage of your work how you see the strengths and weaknesses of our case and your best prediction. I know that there is no script for handling litigation, but your best prediction of where you think the most advantageous outcome is going to be. Don't surprise me. And please don't write a 6-page report that at your next report date becomes 8 pages because you just added what's new and added what's new and added. Just send me the updates. And I think maybe the carriers will not be happy if I say this, but don't rely on the litigation guidelines to prompt your reporting to me.
Yes.
Your reporting to me should be when something important happens or because we haven't touched base recently to make sure that the strategy we agreed on last time we talked is still the right strategy for this case. So I don't want to hear from you at 30 days and 90 days because that's what the guidelines say. I want you to be a professional and understand when I need to be updated. And we'll talk often enough that you will understand that.
Yeah, and I've always, that was one piece of advice that's a mentor gave me, like, don't let the sun set on new information.
That's excellent. That's a really good way to put it. Yeah, I agree.
So before I let you go, knowing what you know now after, going through many years of your career, what advice would you give your younger self?
Be curious. Always be curious. You'll never know what you'll learn, what you'll find out. Be open to networking. One of the things that I'm proud to say now is that I have a tremendous network. You are one of those people that I can call anytime with a question. I need a resource. Have you dealt with this new law? There's a new strategy that plaintiff's counsel is using. What is defense counsel using to respond to that. Build your network.
Yes.
You will never be sorry for reaching out, making contacts, being open to new business relationships. It will come back. You'll get such a return on your investment.
Yeah, I agree with that. But also build your network in a authentic manner, too.
Right. Yeah, that didn't occur to me because I'm not a big social media user, but that's right. I don't know how many connections I have on LinkedIn because that's not what matters to me. What matters to me is, can I pick up the phone or send an email or a text to you, Megan, or to any of the people here at this conference if I need something? And the answer is yes.
Yeah. Well, thanks so much for sitting down. I'm so glad you finally joined me. You can join me for a full episode if you're interested. Would love to have you.
It's been a pleasure. I really appreciate it. Thanks for talking with me.
Thank you so much.